Hey guys, welcome to this video. Today I'm going to be presenting you this presentation about social media that's called Social Media Behind the Scenes. There is going to be a lot of information about social media in this presentation, and I hope that you will learn something from it. So let's get into it. So the first question is, what social media platforms are there? So here we've got the basics like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. But then we've got stuff like Snapchat, Reddit, 4chan, and so on. So those are the social media platforms. Now, where's the difference between social media and social networking? So the difference between social media and social networking is that social media is made for sharing videos online and pictures rather than connecting with people online, and social networking is made rather for connecting with people online rather than posting images and videos online. So that's the difference, just so you know. Now, why was social media made? So we've got the most popular creators here, which are Mark Zuckerberg, Kevin Systrom, and the most important out of these three is George Karam. So Mark Zuckerberg created Facebook with his friends. Kevin Systrom made Instagram, and George Karam and his friends made YouTube. So Facebook was originally a kind of a social media to connect people on Harvard that were studying on Harvard. But then Mark Zuckerberg took it into his own hands and he made it available for the whole world. And that became Facebook as we know it now. Then there's Kevin Systrom, who made Instagram, and he originally made it so that people can share pictures of nature and space online, and the pictures could only be square, which the square pictures actually stuck around until today. And he made it because he really loved photography at the time. And then we've got George Karam and his friends, and they made YouTube for video sharing, but totally originally it was a dating website. But then they made it a video sharing website since the dating website wasn't really that successful. And the first video on YouTube, just so you know, is me at the zoo. Now, is social media being used as intended? So basically, Facebook is definitely being used as intended because it was meant to connect people around the world. Instagram is still being used for sharing pictures of nature and space, but some people kind of use it for like sharing pictures of their vacation or like selfies of themselves, which isn't like the original purpose of Instagram, but it is mostly being used as intended. Then there is YouTube, which is being used as intended because it was made to be a video sharing website. Now, what is the positive impact of social media on society? So here we have charities or collaboration for good, which I would say the last two main charities we had in like the past 3 to 4 years were Team Trees and Team Seas. Then there is education because we've got like a lot of educational stuff, for example, on YouTube. Then we've got encouragement, which I would say is basically like when someone has a mental or physical disorder, and they try to encourage other people that have that disorder to try and live a normal and happy life. Then there is connection, so people can connect online. And then there's entertainment, which we obviously all know that there's like a lot of entertainment on Instagram, YouTube, everywhere basically. Now, what is the negative impact of social media on society? So here we've got isolation because some people don't even go outside because they've got social media and they connect with their friends through social media. Then we've got anxiety because social media can cause anxiety. Then there are fake news because fake news are being primarily spread through social media right now and the internet as a whole. Then we've got depression. And then we've got FOMO, which stands for the fear of missing out. And basically, the fear of missing out is being kind of like paranoid or scared that you have new messages or that there are new posts and that you won't respond to them, that you will basically miss out on them. And some people have it so severe that they sometimes wake up in the middle of the night and they have to check their phone because of the FOMO. Then we've got narcissism, which is a giant problem, and then we've got cyberbullying as well, which has been a pretty big problem since the quarantine and stuff. Now, what are some problems that social media has? So here we've got lack of privacy, moderation, and data collection, because right now there are a lot of data leaks going on, so that's the lack of privacy. Then we've got the bad moderation, because we've got a lot of manual moderation going on, but that is really ruining the minds of the people that are doing that moderation. And then there's data collection, which we all know is a giant problem right now. So how could these problems be solved? So I think the lack of privacy could just be solved by better encryption for like the data storing websites and servers. Then the moderation could be solved by better AI made to moderate. And then the data collection could be solved by laws restricting social media companies from collecting so much data. Now we can move on to the next part of the presentation, which is the survey we did. 70 people actually participated, so let's get into it. Now, the first question was if you use social media, and 97.1% out of 70 people said yes, they do, and 2.9% said that they don't. Then, out of 70 people, what social media is being used the most? So we can see here YouTube winning by a total landslide with 66 votes out of 70 and 95.7%. Then there is Instagram with 47 votes and 68.1%, and so on. Now, out of 70 people, what is the most common reason that people think that social media is good? So most people think that it's good because they can chat with their friends or family. Then the other is I can learn useful things from it. Then there is entertainment when bored, and then just wasting time with it, which is definitely not good. So now, out of 70 people, how many people think that they are addicted to social media? So 42.6% said that they don't think so. 39.7% said I am, but just a little bit. Then there is 10.3% who said definitely yes. And then there is the least amount voted, and that is I always say no, but the truth is different. Now, out of 40 people, what is the most common reason why people think that they are addicted to social media? So here we've got a tie between FOMO, which is I always think that I have new messages or that there are new posts and I'm paranoid that I won't respond to them. Then there is sometimes I don't even listen to people around me because I'm looking at social media. And then there is the least voted, which is 7.7%, and that is I'm always on social media, not a second without it. Now, out of 40 people, how many people are working on their addiction? So 45.9% said, yes, I am working on it. 29.7% said, yes, I want to work on it. 18.9% said, kind of, but with the help of my parents. And the least amount voted was, no, I'm not. If you can't get rid of the addiction, then feed it. Now, out of 70 people, how much time do people spend on social media a day? So the most answered was 1 to 2 hours, which I think is pretty normal. Then there was 2 to 4 hours, which is a lot. Then there is 30 minutes to 1 hour, which is good. Then there is 4 to 6 hours, which is really a lot. You shouldn't be spending that much time. Then there is 6 to 8 hours and more, which is like too much at that point. And then there's 50 to 30 minutes, which is all right. Now, for me, it would be 1 to 2 hours a day. Now, for the conclusion. So, I can say, I think, that social media is a good servant but a bad master, and that you shouldn't get addicted to it and stuff like that, and that it can be used for good, but it can also be used for bad stuff, like data leaks and stuff like that. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and I hope that you learned something new from it. And yeah, that's it. Bye-bye.